A little bit of a different view here. Yes, everybody. So, I'll just get right to what's the deal with, just drop that down there. What's the deal with this table right here? So, this right here on wheels, got off Amazon, like $110 shipped or something. Maybe, I think maybe more. But, wood top, on wheels, adjustable height. I'm thinking I'm going to put some bigger wheels on it. Extremely sturdy. Says it can hold 2,000 pounds. I'm not going to test that. But one thing that was going on in the other garage was how bad, when I disassemble a saw, I had nowhere to put the saw. So it was kind of one of those no-brainers. I needed an extension, or I need to do an L shape or something. I'm thinking the L shape is going to work good here. I can disassemble here and reassemble on the main bench. I'll have my light right here to be able to help, and then I can put all the parts and everything, spread them out over another surface, and I can wheel it out of the way or whatever if need be. So this is obviously the thumbnail had to have said it more or less. This is the putting of an McCulloch MC 101B, probably the best kart motor arguably, into an 895 gear drive, which it's locked up. Didn't see my live feed, I showed that and everything, introducing that. But we're also going to have a bunch of time lapse of tearing this thing apart here, because it'll be in pieces and parts. There's only a little bit of time I can work on it after work. Right now it's 2 in the morning, and that's the time I've got. So I've got to work this Saturday, and hopefully that'll be the last Saturday we've got to work this year, so far that we know it's scheduled. So it's a little bit at a time after work to get things done and everything, but I'm going to have the fan running, my big old 12-inch fan, probably have the TV going for time-lapse purposes and everything. So, helps me a little bit. But when we get to taking the tank fully off of this, then right before when we go into the engine, we're going to pop it open together and see what's going on in that engine. Is it just, locked lightly, or is it really badly? But I will say the carburetor, the air filter did its job. The carburetor is in absolute beautiful shape. I can see they took it off a lot, as this screw has a lot of witness mark on it. So it has been into quite often, which is kind of concerning, but not a surprise for one of these flatbacks. So somebody was struggling with it or in it all the time to get it stopped. I have an idea. I've done this before on another saw, and I tore it apart because I thought it was the problem or something. It wasn't, but it was the 790 MC101 up there, my racing saw. I had put a Walbro knockoff, WB37, and I 3D printed adapters to put them on. Well, now I'm going to try to make those out of aluminum, and I want to do that same adapter and that same carburetor inside of one of these, because I don't think one of those little Tillies at like 19 millimeter or 20 millimeter is really going to do it as much justice. So those Walbro carbs, they can run 150 and supposedly 200 cc engines. I figured it'd be a good addition, a good upgrade to one of these. They don't have a choke on them, but I'm not really going to run this saw too much either. That I'm not going to just, I'm just going to cheat and use the prime bottle, hit the old prime bottle downer, call her good. But what we do know about this 101, it does have spark, it does have compression. That's enough to tell me it will run. It is 40 over. The piston looks fresh in it. The piston looks amazing in it and everything. So that's been rebuilt at some point once or twice. I'm happy with that results and everything. So we're going to have to take, it's going to be a bit of a process. I haven't figured out, I've seen it done, but putting the 101 shroud onto this frame here, I guess I haven't looked much into how that's going to happen. I've seen it done, but how to make it happen, I'm not sure. I got a buddy that has a 790 or 795 or something that has a 101 AA in it, and it has a chrome shroud on it, and it is beautiful. I love that saw. Envious. That's what I was building originally, an overkill firewood saw, and I think that's kind of where the channel's heading towards and everything. I'm still going to revive saws, but I'm going to focus a lot more on putting kart engines and custom saws is what I want to build. I want to put these kart engines into these saws. and everything like that, you know. Whether it looks the part in there like it's always been there, or you can see that obviously I've done something. I love the idea of custom making stuff and whatnot, and I'm not a very good artist. It's hard to put something in my head, get through my brain stem, and put it to my hand sometimes, you know. I'm not very good at that. I could think of it, I just can't draw it out very well. So that's kind of my problem with ADHD, but so it'll be time-lapsing of me with my Uncrustable, my water, on the side, the fan. I'm gonna have the TV, and we're just gonna go to town on it and everything. But the gas tank inside this smells bad. I think it wasn't too bad last time we checked, but we'll figure it out. I gotta get these screws out. The top's been off. There's witness marks, so it's all there. But I'm not gonna throw this engine away. You know, I'm going to see if I can get it running in the future. Good parts engine, something like that. I've got many ideas and things like that. It's just, I know I'm looking at the burnt remains of saws up there and stuff like that, and I want to get those. But those are going to be as the years goes on and everything. Those are $600-800 each to get restored and sent out. So that's going to be once a year. I'm going to send something out and have that done by Bobby and everything. But either way, right now, let's go ahead. Let's just get to the part where we're disassembling this, get you up on the table watching me, watching the parts flow, or just leave you there. Either way, let's get started. Like, comment, subscribe. You're already here. All right, we've gotten to that point where we're taking the tank off. It's been a little while since I've actually tore one of these apart. As I'm sitting there trying to think, my brain's, you know, a gear drive. My brain is just literally on fire from trying to think. But in that process of jarring stuff, there's some compression. The engine turns over. Great. I've never torn apart an 895. We're still going to go over our goal, but we're going to go ahead, open this up. You can see this gas tank, though. There's liquid in it. There's moisture, so it had to come apart anyways. It's got that, the white death is happening. So, there we go. So, got white death in it. So, that's got to be stopped. Let's see what the inside of this looks like. It looked like it was put up running, and it's just dirty as hell. But either way, I don't know what was stopping it. I don't know if this thing was jammed up in it and doing stupid stuff. But either way, let's take a look at the inside. Hey, if you're doing this, by the way, stop at oldsawshop.com, and grab yourself some gaskets. You're going to need them. Oh wait, I've got the stupid oil rod. Stupid thing. Whose idea? Gotta get that bolt out here. We'll just have you guys for the adventure here. 7/16 and a flat blade will disassemble one of these. Oh man, it's the whole goddamn old thing. Whatever. You know what? We're just gonna rip stuff apart. And we're gonna put a functioning oiler and everything, obviously. Even though it's got an auto oiler. You know, your really anticlimactic moment here. I don't even know how you're supposed to assemble these with it. Wow, the reed and the spacer are looking fantastic shape. Awesome job to whoever did that. Oh man. Kind of ruining the moment here. Well, the inside of the engine doesn't look too bad. I want it to be admittable. My God, do we have to tear off the gearbox first to do this part? No. We've got to get these little tiny screws out here. Gosh. Impact driver. BRB, people. Gee, Mr. McCulloch, the engineering team, this is the best we can come up with. One heat shield. Future Brian is really gonna hate putting this back together. Really, really gonna hate this. This is gonna be the pain in the ding dong. Alright. So, there's that. There's our heat shield out of the way. I don't think that's gonna help us at all here. We should. Oh, get our decomp. There we go. Yay! The heat shield was the problem. Yay, and there's our inside. Wow, it looks really good. Ah, shit. It looks really good. Great. It looks good, people. It looks immaculate in there. It would have ran. It would have ran. Oh, I did put WD-40 down it all those months ago. Oh, that's great. That's just wonderful of me. Oh well. That's going to make a good 103cc engine for something or somebody or something. Oh, the piston looks fantastic. I would bet that this has been bored out. And we're not going to turn it over anymore. There's a bunch of crud in there. Anyways, getting the gearbox off. I've got to buy a puller to get that clutch off. Because after that, it's just as many bolts as I can. I got to get these bolts off here. And then after I get it disconnected from the stuffer portion of it, then I have to take that, get the starter off, and then the clutch. And behind the clutch is 3 or 4 bolts that holds it to the block, and then that will do the job. And that disconnects that from there, and then it's as simple as clean everything up and get back together on this engine, the 101B over here. Supposedly, that's simple. Well, this is where this is that education part, by the way. This is that D port. I don't know if you watched the live video, but MC 101s, the 123cc engines, do not have that. I will have to fill this portion in here with JB Weld on the adapter, to be specific, is where I'm going to do that. Fill it in there, and then it'll only be able to mess with stuff right here. Well, those reeds look really good. We're not going to dick with those. We're just going to clean some stuff up here. But yeah, it's got that fold-over gasket that Brian has at his shop, and I need to, yeah. I might try to hit him up for a set of those. I need carb gaskets for other things too. I mean, not carb gaskets, God bless it. I need a carb, whatchamacallits and everything, kits and stuff like that too. I gotta hit them up for those. It's the only reliable source I know to find those and everything, but alright. Well, I'll have to continue this tomorrow. I don't want to undo this yet because there's probably oil in there. Clean up this bench, and we can get the gearbox off in the next installment when I decide to run to Harbor Freight and, yeah, get that next portion. Well, the time lapse there I had going and everything. I decided to go live. Had to go get some equipment and stuff like that, some tools and whatnot, hardware, to get the clutch off. Success. Did it on live video. And it's not on there, it's just sitting on there. But what I will show, and there's a theory, this has a fiber clutch on it. Fiber setup. And those run ATF fluid, meaning either this was converted over to a fiber clutch, or this was originally a 795 engine down here that got put onto either a 640 or an 840 gearbox. That's my suspicion. Also, a big thing that I've read it, I never got a confirmation on it, the crank seal for the PTO side. In the McCulloch manual, it shows that that's supposed to be reversed so that it doesn't suck in gear oil. But what do we see here, or even ATF, what you see here is a normal direct drive installation, meaning I'm pretty sure this was a direct drive engine that was put into a gearbox. So this is kind of a mud of a saw, I think. But either way, that means I don't have to change the seal out the direction on this one right here. I can leave it alone and put together as is. And I'm going to keep doing that for all the others. If this one was running just fine, not sucking in ATF fluid, then we should be good for the rest of any of them. I shouldn't have to flip that seal around. But I think what I'm going to do, wrap up this video, do some cleanup work and everything, and then we will get to assembling this together. Remember, gearbox and oiler rod first. Don't forget to put the oiler rod in and then bolt it together, and then you can put your tank on. You put the tank on first, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And I'm going to have to swap out the stuffer plates there. But it's a little more work ahead of me, off camera. So, anyways, till then, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I got some cleaning up to do. Got a cookout to do. Like I said, I just got off of doing a live video. I've tried to maybe do that on Sundays. I don't know how often. We'll see. But till then, thanks for watching, everybody.